Hi, this is Socionics channel where we help you to broaden your knowledge about yourself and other people. Today we're gonna type JK Rowling, famous writer, and I used to be fan of Harry Potter myself.
Me too.
So let's do it.
The greatest gift the Harry Potter series has given to the world is the freedom to use our imaginations.
I really hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very frustrated by fear of imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's healthy.
So she's saying that fear of imagination is not healthy. And imagination and creativity, towards which aspect it goes. Extra intuition.
Yeah, and she really feels for it. So I say this is something more likely intuitive person would say, because it bothers her a lot. When sensing people, they can do just fine without using too much of imagination a lot of times. So
in the United States, you're known as the first billionaire author.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has being the first billionaire author affected your perception of yourself?
I dress better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not just about money, because you meet lots of rich people who dress atrociously.
I loved how she replied to. So how is it to be a first woman billionaire? And she said, yeah.
It's just interesting that the first thing that came to her mind is about she can dress better.
Yeah,
so if we're talking about that, this is introverted sensing how you look.
You want other people feel good when they're looking at you. To feel like it's pleasant for them to look at you, because you dress nice. You has a nice haircut. You have you just look beautiful, and beauty by itself is introverted sensing.
Yeah.
Everything that matches together and looks very nice and pleasing.
Something that pleases the eye.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the way she reacted to the first writer billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire.
Yeah, she wasn't particularly feeling great about it. Being very rich person.
She has a lot of power. We have a lot of money. Like she said, it's like superpower when you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But she didn't point it out. And
it's extroverted sensing.
Yeah.
But it's not something that she showed interest in, or she was proud. Okay, I'm the best. I'm the best writer. I earned most money than anybody. No, not at all. Or at least a little bit.
The first
I understand that she can be modest, but at least she would show, she would be happy, she would be pleased if you would say, mention that.
Are you in a place now where you can accept that you will always be rich?
No. Are you?
Kinda.
It's interesting how here, after Oprah asked her a question, she immediately asked Oprah the same question. And this is not the first time. It's already, I noticed, a few times during the interview.
She was asking her questions.
She was asking with...
who's interviewing whom? I feel like Oprah wants to learn about her more, but at the same time Rowling wants to learn more about Oprah as well. So she asked her in return the same questions.
Yeah. She's not just asking to be polite. You can see that she really interested in answer, and knowing about person, some information, some personal information is introverted ethics. And because she wants to know this, this a plus for introverted ethics.
This is so interesting and so tricky, because you might think why she's asking her the same questions, but if you will think about it, she asks the same question that Oprah asks her, just to learn more about her interviewer even though she's being interviewed. This is very interesting. It's like a natural interest in people whom she likes, probably. And I feel like she likes Oprah. Because she sort of relates to her because of their past, because both of them were poor when they were like young, and they've been through a lot in their lives. I feel like she relates to Oprah a lot. That's why she wants to learn about her more. That's why she's like taking this chance to ask her more questions.
Yeah.
And I feel, I don't want to get complacent. I don't want to take things for granted.
Correct.
I just, and after all, yeah, I do still worry.
Really?
Yeah. Not all the time. I mean, mostly I feel great.
So I would like to point out here that this is very interesting how they're sort of discussing how each of them feels about having money and not having it in the past, and how their feeling changed about the money when they finally got it. And this is so interesting. Like they're sort of like discussing this topic. Oprah feels about money differently, like about having money finally, differently than Rowling, because Rowling still feels insecure even having money in her life. And there's just going over and over about this topic. How you feel? Well, how you feel? Well, yeah, you're right. I should have feel like you, but I sort of can't. Why do you feel like that? Oh my God. Yeah, that would just blow my mind probably if somebody would ask me this question.
Oh, really? Well, maybe because
I don't know what to answer. Well,
because it's introverted ethics.
Yeah.
How you feel about things, it's introverted ethics.
How you feel about things, or how you feel about people, how do you feel about whatever that surrounds you, and what is your personal feeling about it? How does it make you feel, everything that surrounds you?
What do you actually think money has done for you? What does it do?
It frees you. That's what it does. It frees you. That's why it's like a superpower. It frees you. I mean, we don't have the luxury of literally being able to sit down and say, where should we go for our holiday? And not be in any way limited.
I was just, when Oprah asked her, so what did the money do for you? And I'm like thinking, okay, just give me some introverted sensing example. Like, I can wear nice clothes. I can go.
She already said that.
Yeah, I can go whatever I want. I can afford myself, like, a good vacation, a good stuff, a good food. And like she's saying right now, well, you can go on a vacation wherever you want. And
here it goes.
Yeah, I can just travel, have some fun and relax.
For me, not having introverted sensing in values, when thinking if I would have $1 billion, or I don't know.
I would definitely not spend it on a vacation.
I wouldn't think about vacation.
I hear you don't drive.
No, I don't drive. No. Cars terrify me. I'm really frightened of cars.
So do you have a driver?
Lately, I have had a driver.
Or
very
is it
lately.
true that you still take the bus? I read that you still take the bus.
Occasionally, within the last year, I've taken the bus, definitely, yeah.
What? She's a billionaire and she's taking a bus? She's not driving?
Because she's terrified of cars.
I don't know, that's very weird to me.
Okay, so in terms of danger, how would you level the driving a car?
Well, there is danger involved here. There's no doubt about it.
So why you're not terrified about driving a car?
I can control the car, I don't know.
You see, maybe she feels like she can't control the car. So when you're driving a car, you need to control it. To control the car and control yourself while you're driving a car. And maybe she just doesn't, it's just my guess, maybe she doesn't like the situation when you need to control something and control yourself. So she just tries to avoid it because it's dangerous, and she doesn't like to control the car, control the object. She just prefers to take a bus.
Yeah, I would say that it's more likely Intuit would say something like that, because sensing people...
I'm afraid of cars too.
Sensing people are more grounded, and especially if you're talking about extroverted sensing, it's taking things under control. So it's something that people with especially extroverted sensing in values enjoy a lot. And, you know, she's just afraid of it.
That in the end, love wins.
Love wins. It does win. We know it wins. When the person dies, love isn't turned off like I was going to say tap, but it's faucet, because you had to translate cue to line.
This is extra intuition. This isn't, so again, it's like a metaphor. Love is not switched off when the person dies. And she already used a couple extra intuitive, like metaphoric phrases before that we didn't point it out. So when you are turning off the tap, it's like the thing that you are doing in your everyday life. But what she does, she applies another meaning to this process. So you're turning off the tap, and you're like sort of turning off the love when the person dies. And she's saying that you don't turn off the love when the person dies. So this
but you don't have a tap in your head.
Yeah, or like
it's
whatever
not there.
In your, yeah. So this is exactly what extra intuition is doing. Applying another meaning to things that you're just see in your everyday life.
But also what's interesting that how important love for her, because not only as they were discussing it with Oprah, she brought this through all her books, but also she's saying like even after person dies, you still love them. And like, and love is the most important thing, she's saying. So, well, at very least for her. So this is very much for introverted ethics. We finished watching interview, and now time to determine the type. And first thing is what values does she have? And the ones that we are fairly certain is that she got introverted ethics in values, because there was a lot of semantics, and she was going deep into introverted ethics, and this is we definitely saw that she values it a lot. Other aspects that was introverted sensing, and we saw minuses on extroverted sensing, but she was prioritizing introverted sensing over it. So we assume that she also values introverted sensing.
So also from this video, we can assume that she is intuitive, because she used semantics of both introverted and extroverted intuition, and she didn't really show any signs of strong sensing. I would say both introverted and extroverted, right?
Yeah.
So,
and the book itself, I can say that there is a lot of intuition involved in there. So we are fairly confident that she most likely intuitive. And also there were plenty of signs of introversion, and mostly she was throughout the whole interview mostly talking on introverted aspects overall. So we are confident about that. So what we got introverted, intuitive ethic,
and ethical person. Yeah. So basically,
so this leads us first to their fourth quadrant, and it leaves us to the ethical, intuitive introvert type.
Please leave your thoughts in a comment if you've noticed some other things that we didn't notice in her interview. The link will be down below.
If you want to watch more, we recommend you to watch Taylor Swift typing video. You can click on the left. And also, if you want to know more about introverted ethics, click on the right and watch that video.
And to subscribe, click on circular channel icon. Thank you for watching.